Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sop. I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Joshua Water in Jacksonville, Florida. But first I take a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Akim, and to the women and children around the world in Paleo Hebrew. Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha Rokah Kodash Muhammad. In the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder Hawan. Salutation to the Akim on the four corners of the earth. And to the women and children, Shalom. Okay, well, the Edomites are working double time, overtime, and pastime. Because now there's an alert that started on the 20th, I believe she's talking about. Mexico is closed off to America, right? So, the title distance is called Lockdown, okay? Gonna go into the video first, then we go into scripture. Here we go.
I'm sounding the alarm again. I'm sounding the alarm. President Trump just said that the trade war between the U.S. and Mexico is now being implemented, and it actually means that you will not find flights from Mexico to America. Let's get into this. Yahoo News just published this article, and I read it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to alert the family here. I need to let y'all know that the lockdown is happening, but it's not happening all at once. It's happening in phases. It's happening quietly. It's happening behind the scenes, it's trade wars and this closure and that, but listen, it's happening nonetheless. The global skies are changing, and listen, it is not for the better. In a bold move, echoing growing tensions around global movement, President Donald Trump's administration announced new restrictions on Mexican flights today, July 20th, threatening to unravel a key airline alliance with Delta and Aeromexico. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy cited violations of the U.S.-Mexico Aviation Treaty after Mexico forced airlines to reroute from the established Benito Juarez International Airport to the newer Felipe Angeles Airport, over 30 miles away. Ooh, America first means fighting for fairness, said Duffy. This should be a warning to any nation attempting to exploit the U.S. carriers or our market. What? But listen, this is not just about flights. This is about a broader pattern that includes bank account freezers, embassy closures, and regulatory shifts happening in real time to control your movement under the guise of trade or security. So let's talk about this pattern. We've talked about how one of the routes is going to be extinguished or suspended from New York to France through one of the Nord Airways, okay? And that's just the first one. If you are not in the know, Singapore has also dropped their airlines to the US. Actually, it has decreased 30% since April 25. Singapore to America Airways have decreased 30%, and Singapore cited ongoing route optimization, okay? But insiders point to pressure from Washington over crypto policy non-alignment. Listen, this is a silent lockdown.
Ooh, did she say crypto? Let's keep moving.
Not by force, but by logistics, legal bottlenecks, and bureaucratic delay. So let's talk about why this matters for you, especially if you are a business owner, you work online, you have your businesses online, or maybe you have some type of international business going on. You are going to see reduced access to home countries. As routes close or become more expensive, expats may find it harder to return for emergencies, renew documents, or manage properties. This is a very real scenario. This is something that you need to plan for. And this is why I'm so honored and privileged to be able to share this information, because I'm like, why is nobody talking about this? Like, hello, do y'all see what's happening?
Okay, let me leave it right there. As you can see, the Edomites, now that, what's his name? Donald Trump said that he would not allow the digital system to be implemented here in so-called America, right? Babylonian. Um, they're bringing it in, right? And now the lockdown is going to be having an effect, believe it or not, on jobs in America, okay? So things are moving closer, things are moving faster. I want to go to Ecclesiastic chapter 12, verse 3. In the days when the keeper of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the window be darkened. Hmm? You know, right now more and more jobs are laying people off, right? More companies are closing down, okay? And that's gonna affect, you know, a lot of people because, you know, we all work to pay bills, right? And to buy food, but this is the way that the Edomites want to bring in the invisible money, right? To force everyone into it, right? Even though I saw, I think it was in TikTok or YouTube, I saw on a couple of days ago on China, Chinese people over there, after using it for a couple of, what, 2.5 years or something, they don't want to use it no more. They don't like it, right? They saw that the government in China had too much control, okay? Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, right, the stores, when the sound of the grinding is low. Not too many jobs, right? And he shall rise up at the voice of the birds, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Yeah, a lot of so-called Negros, Latino American speckled bird women are going to be crying, right? Because you know, when she's not making her money, she is not a happy camper. Verse 5, also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way. And the almond tree, right, the upright, the righteous, shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden. Hmm? Yeah. That's talking to, you know, so-called Negros, Latino American speckled bird who are putting all their time and energy, right, only on the things of this world, chasing the bag only, right? Even some of you walking away from your duties of doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, right? I believe what's his name came up, did a YouTube to announce that he's not a Hebrew no more. What's his name? A Gorilla Hebrew? And desire shall fail, because man goes to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be, you know, taking their lives, right? Because if they don't have no work, you know. One thing I learned years ago when I was doing cow ranching up there in Missouri, I was working under an Edomite. He said to me, you know, when you cannot find no more work, no more jobs, create one, right? Now, when he said that, it left me puzzled because I took it like, well, you mean open up, you know, do a business? So when he came back, I asked him, he said, you know, like do a business? He goes, no, you won't be, there ain't going to be no work or that you can sign up to, you know, get the papers and all that. What I'm saying is, you know, you're going to have to keep on working, find what people need, right? and do that, but it's going to become, what they call that, a barter system, right? Even though the Edomites have made laws against, I believe, right? Because they want you to bow down to them and them only. They want to curse you, because they know who we are, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and speckled birds, right? We are the children of the Most High. Verse 5, also when they shall be afraid of that which is high. Oh, I already read that. Okay, so let me go to Job, so like verse 17, chapter 17, so like verse 13. If I wait, the grave is my house. I have made my bed in the darkness. You know that old saying, you made your bed, now you gotta lay on it? In case you don't understand what that means that you put all your energy and time only on the things of this world. The so-called Negros, Latino, Negros, and speckled birds, right? And now that the window of mercy is getting smaller, right? And you didn't put the time and energy when you will call, right? And it goes to the men, women, and children, right? And some of you did. Some of you have. Salakia, right? And bless you for that, for coming back. But that window is still open to our people, right? Heed the calling, because things are moving faster. Verse 14, I have said to corruption, thou art my father, to the worm, thou art my mother and my sister. Yeah, you started worshiping the things of this world, pagan holidays, right? Verse 15, and where is now my hope? As for my hope, who shall see it? Verse 16, they shall go down to the bars of the pit. When you die, you go alone, separate, right? When our rest together is in the dust, right? No, tomorrow is promised to no one, right? And having this opportunity with all the madness that's going on, and things are going to get worse out here around the world, okay? But out here, so-called America, our people, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and speckled birds, have the opportunity to repent with fear and trembling, right? And you can still do that, okay? I want to go to Psalm chapter 16. Oops. Chapter 16, verse 10. Because remember, now if they're going to bring this lockdown, and this digital system is going to, be implemented, no more paper money, right? Rest assured, that also means they're going to mandate a will come the MOTV, right? The charagma, the Sihit, verse 10. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thy Holy One to see corruption, right? He will not allow us, he will give us the strength not to take, that MOTV, right? We prefer going to the spirit world than bowing down to this wicked Edomites, okay? So if you don't want to be weak at that moment or that time when it comes, you want to be with doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, who will give strength to those who come back to him. I want to go to Psalm chapter 49, verse 15. But Yahweh will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me. See, the Edomites want to make you believe that, you don't want to die. You're going to be in hell for eternity burning. That's that Christian 501c3 Incorporated Church mentality, right? That's not true. You see? I mean, they want to keep convincing our people that technology that the Edomites have, they can give you eternal life, right? That's not true either. I want to go to Job chapter 3, verse 17. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. Yeah. Why should we fear death, right? After they can't do nothing to us, right? So, they're going to use fear, hunger, right, and chaos, okay? Because, as things in America start shutting down, right, what a coincidence that they build the wall so you can't get out and, start closing down the airports. Yeah, that's a lockdown, right? Give me a minute. Where was that? 17? Oh, I want to go to 18. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. Yeah. What the oppressor can do now, right? Once you're in the grave, that's it. The spirit goes back to the heavens. 19. The small and great. The small and great. Oh, what happened here? The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master, right? Free from slavery. Because, they still keep us in slavery. They want to upgrade us, right? They want to own. They want to put a patent. Turns into cyborgs, right? That's crazy. Let me go to Ecclesiastic chapter. Ecclesiastic what? Chapter 10, verse 12. The words of a wise man's mouth are, can I pronounce this? Gratuitous, right? Uncalled for, lack good reason, unwanted. Gratuitous. Okay? I mean, if you're gonna keep giving the finger to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, and speckled birds, you're really giving it to yourself, right? Because the only one that can save us is Yahweh Shai, and that's who we're waiting for. Okay? Verse 13, the beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk, right, the Edomites. Oh wait, did I read this again? Slakia. Verse 12, Slakia. The words of the wise man's mouth is gratuitous, but the lips of a fool will swallow up himself. Okay? So, that's what it says, gratuitous. Okay, I just want to Slakia, man. So, by following these Edomites' belief system, this is the worst way to go. You can't trust the Edomites no more. The whole world knows that they are the wicked, right? So, it's time to wake up, you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, and speckled birds. Verse 13, the beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is mischief and madness. Yeah, and right now he's showing the madness to the whole world, especially to the people that are living in America, right? I mean, he's getting desperate, so he's moving faster because he only has a short time to begin with, okay? Verse 14, a fool also is full of words. A man cannot tell what shall be and what shall be after him. Who can tell him? right? But the Edomites, they want to convince everybody that they know everything and that they control the elements. I don't know if they're smoking, but boy, they've been smoking it for a long time. I want to go to Ecclesiastic chapter 8, verse 7, but that's Yahweh Shem Yahshua making them do that. For he knows not that which shall be, for who can tell him when it shall be? Verse 8, there's no man that has power over the Spirit to retain the Spirit, neither has the power in the day of death, and there is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. Yeah, but he's convincing our people, right, that with technology he can, give us eternal life, give us peace on earth, right? But that's one big fat lie. I want to jump to verse 12. Though a sinner do evil and 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that what? Fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which fear before him. Right? But the Edomites want to keep insisting to, no, you got to fear the Edomites. Right? Forget the gods. Right? Fear the, what's that? Fear the vessel. Right? Not the creator. Verse 13. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he fears not before Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Alright? This is where we are, right? So then you go to let's see, Wisdom of Solomon. Give me a minute. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13. I'll go to verse 1. Give me a minute. Surely vain are all men by nature, right? We all have sinned. We all have fallen short of the glory. Who are ignorant of Yahweh, right? And could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is. Neither by considering the work did they acknowledge the work master, right? You didn't consider it. You so-called Nigos Martinez and speckled birds, right? The wicked don't consider Yahweh or Yahweh to begin with, okay? Everything that the Father Yahweh gave to his Son to create, the Edomites say, no, it's not good. They didn't do a good job. We can do better. We can make everything artificial. You see? Verse 2. But deem, right? Either fire, deem on regard or consider, okay? In a specified way. Or wind, or the swift air, or the circle of stars, or the violent water, or the light of heaven, to be the God which governs the world, right? We all look at up into the sky, right? We go, wow, look at all that, right? But the Edomites, who we went to their, schools, taught us to, at one time, those who are still hypnotized, our people, to worship these things, right? Verse 3, with whose beauty, if they being their light, took them to be gods, let them know how much better Yahweh Shai, right, of them is, right? If you took the time, which one is the one who did all that, right? For the first author of beauty had created them. Hey, right? A lot of people are still believing in that Jesus, right? That long hair, blue eyes, right? That likes wearing high heels. That's Caesar Borgia. That was only to entertain you, Same thing with the money. It was only to entertain us. Now the beast system, right? The new world order is coming about. Okay? Verse 4. But if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made them. Hmm? Yeah. If you were to say to yourself, wait a minute, all this was done by a master's hand, a powerful, wise, right, creator. So I'll go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 12, and I'll leave it with this. For the devices of idols were the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the inventions of them, the corruption of life. Right? We've all been using technology, but now it's getting close to a time that we're going to have to let go of it. Right? And not depend on it no more. Right? Even though it was Yahweh Shem Yahushua who gave it to the Edomites, right? To help them taste what is power and knowledge, right? And they made weapons because, Yahweh Shem Yahushua blessed them with the sword. But now Yahushua is going to come back and take it away from them and remove this wicked kingdom off from the face of the earth. I hope that this was edifying. And with that, I'll say, Shalom.